Hey everybody, I want to delineate between backup and export. Backup is where you take Tascam proprietary files like all your tracks that you've recorded and backing them up to another machine so you can use them later and continue to edit your song. Export is where you are finished with the song, or you just have some tracks you like and you export them off as WAV files. Okay, two different things completely. Okay, so let's say you're going to back up. Let's start there. All right, you've recorded files like I have these 8 channels here, and I bounced some files down and got this thing all pretty much ready to mix and master. But I'm not quite done yet, and there's some things I want to do. I want to add some other stuff. So what I want to do is I want to back that up and get it off this card to free up space, or just store it for later because it's something I'm not going to be working on for a while. Get it? So I just go into data backup and I'll back it up. Watch this. Song backup. Okay, so now what that's going to do is you're going to back up the tracks individually into a zipped up folder that's recognized by a Tascam machine. It's not something you're going to be able to put on Spotify or a podcast or anything. No other device is really going to be able to read it. It's this weird zipped up file that'll get put back on here and back into place, which is great because you don't have to single everything back out and put it on each individual track. It's really super handy if you're using one of these. So, you've worked on a song for a little while and you just, shelf it for a while, bring it back out, put it back on here, and then everything's right back where it was. And you can continue to work from there, okay? So that's what that is. I think that's pretty clear. And what that will go into is the backup folder. So it's on the backup folder on the card that's in the Tascam. And then you would just take that either through the data cable or take the card out, put it in a reader, and put it on your Mac or your whatever device you have, your phone even, whatever it is, and back it up and just leave it there, cloud, whatever. That's probably the best way to do it. Just put it on a cloud and someday pull it back down in the machine and continue to work on it. That's what that's for, okay? Now, when we're talking about exporting a song that's usable by other devices or basically anything these days, it's not like it's 1980. Most things can read almost anything. That's a different story. Okay, that's where you are finished with your song and you've gone into mix down master. Can I go from right here? Yeah. You go into mix down master with all your tracks. You're ready. You've got all your stuff, and you're like, all right, I want to send this to the band. Even if it's not done, or if it is, it doesn't matter. Wherever you're at in the process of the song, you're ready to disseminate it and give it to someone else so that they can read it on any device. Just open it up in their browser, basically, okay, and or on their phone, whatever. Okay, so that's a whole different story. So now here's where you go from here. Okay, now you go into mix down. So you go ahead and mix your song down and then master your song, okay? You've mixed down your song, you've mastered it, and that's all done. I'm not going to do it because it takes a lot of time. The thing's going to reel and reel and reel. But what it does then is it goes into the WAV file of the Tascam. So now when you come out of your either your data cable or you take your card out and you put it in your other device, through a reader or whatever, then it's a WAV file that can be basically read by pretty much anything on the planet. So, and it's done, and you can use that. So those are the two differences. I just wanted to clarify that, okay? It sounds a little tricky. It sounds a little bit confusing, but it's really not. Basically, if you're backing up, you're just backing something up to use later. If you're exporting something, you're basically done with it, and you can give it to somebody else and they can use it. So those are the two differences, and that's how those get out. So once you've exported this, then go in your computer and you'll see it on your computer as either the backup folder or the WAV folder. And in the backup folder, you're going to see this weird looking icon that is, unrecognizable, and your computer will probably, or your whatever device you're on will say, should I search the internet for an app to open this? Don't bother. It's for the Tascam. Or you're going to go in the WAV folder, and you're going to have mastered files or just tracks that you liked that you were able to export. You can export just individual tracks. If you want to do that, that's fine, But generally speaking, you finish a song, you mix it down, you master it, you export it. It's in the export file, and then you put it over to wherever, your Dropbox or whatever. Say, hey, band, here's my demo. Check it out, man. Add your stuff to it, play around with it, whatever. If you have a Tascam, I can send you. That's another cool thing. If other people have Tascams, you can back it up and send them the backup file, the song that's been backed up, and they can import it into their machine. So this is a whole nother story, but not a bad thing to have. And then they can continue to tag onto it and round it out, and then somebody ultimately can mix it down and master it. And that's the cool thing about these. They're pretty neat. But anyways, I was just trying to clarify that a little. I hope I made sense here. That's the way it works, though, and see you guys.